not to know God, who is He, not to know what are my duties, not to know what is right and wrong, to consider a friend as enemy, enemy as friend, to consider dharma as adharma, adharma as dharma. All this is called moha. And this comes when tamogun overpowers that mind, when the mind is overpowered by tamogun. It comes. When we are sleepy, even however intelligent we may be, if we are sleepy, tired, that time our mind will not function to its highest capacity. We might commit mistake in our decision. We might go wrong because of the power of tamogun. It's like a blurred image. We can't see it properly because the screen is there. We can't see things properly. So, mohanam sarvadehinam pramadalasya nidravihi tan nibhadnati bharata. So, Bhagwan is using that name Bharata many times in this because he is indicating, hinting to Arjuna that you try to revel only in Bha. So, Bharata, revel in light of knowledge, not in the sound of music. Light of knowledge, that is what Bhagwan is telling Arjuna, that you revel in Sattva Gun. Further, Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati Rajak Karmani Bharata Jnanam Avrutyatu Tamaha Pramade Sanjayatyuta Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati Rajak Karmani Bharata. Now Bhagwan tells in this verse that one he said in the previous that how these three gunas bind us. Now he says when this guna comes, what happens? When, see these three gunas, they keep on fluctuating. So when one particular guna is more dominant or predominant, then it shows its color, it shows its effect. So what are the effects which are shown by these gunas that is being said here? So Bhagavan says when you are overpowered by sattva gun, then what happens? Sukhe sanjayati, you get propelled or you get attracted towards happiness. Sattva gun engages us in happiness. Sattva gun makes us aware and identified with happiness. One gets attracted towards happiness. So it's very interesting that a Rajasic person might perform his activities for happiness but is not there to enjoy happiness. He is not available. Busy hai. Not available. Tamogun doesn't even know that what is happening around. But Rajogun is so active that he is not even aware and not there for experiencing peace and happiness. Lot of people actually, lot of Rajasic going around here and there trying to earn lot of money, brings lot of money also, keep some money abroad also. All these things happen, but they don't have time for happiness. They never sit and experience that peace because Rajogun will not let them sit and experience peace and happiness. Rajogun doesn't understand this concept of peace and happiness lying within. It can be understood only by Sattva Gun. You try to explain a Rajasic, purely Rajasic person about joys of meditation or satsang, will not understand. Because that capacity is not there. Rajogun cannot understand Sattva Gun. And Sattva Gun, it understands, but it has transcended. It has transcended both the Rajogun as well as Tamogun. तमोगुण also doesn't understand रजोगुण and सत्वगुण. तमोगुण क्यों यहाँ भाग दौड़ करते, सो जाओ. So तमोगुण is at one end, सत्वगुण is other end, रजोगुण बेचारा बीच में दौड़ते रहता है. So sattvam sukhe sanjayati. When sattva-gun arises, we are attracted towards happiness, which is born in the quiet mind. This happiness belongs to the mind, in the sense it is born in that quiet mind. As our Pujya Gurudev says, that the happiness is directly proportional to the tranquility of our mind. When the mind is tranquil, this experience of happiness, you don't have to do anything. There's just one feels happy because the mind is at peace and very calm, peaceful. It is been overpowered by sattva gun, so there is just experience of happiness. It doesn't require any object, it doesn't require any person, it doesn't require contact of the senses with something. It is just the mind is peaceful, so there is an experience of happiness. In Rajogun, there is a need for outer contact. Rajogun cannot become satisfied or happy just by that. It wants to contact the world through the senses, interact with the world. Rajogun is dependent. It seeks dependent happiness, conditional happiness. But in Sattva Gun, there is unconditional happiness. Doesn't need anything. You just sit quiet. Sattvic condition is there in the heart. One feels great sense of joy and peace. So much so that even the sorrows of the Rajogun and Tamogun is forgotten there. It is transcended. Even when a person is in Sattva Gun, even when he or she remembers some sorrowful event or thing, it doesn't disturb that person's mind. It's in great sense of peace and happiness. So we can transcend sorrow through Sattva Gun, but we can forget sorrow through Tamogun. People rather forget sorrow because it becomes easier to fall down. See, Tamogun is falling down, Sattva Gun is rising up. So it is natural or it is easier to fall down. But it requires special effort, spiritual effort to rise. So people rather fall down to avoid sorrow than rise and transcend sorrow. So they keep falling into Tamogun. So when a person is very Rajasic, he tries to take support of all this alcohol and this and that and all to forget the sorrow. So Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati. Sattvam attracts us towards this inner peace and happiness. But if we think it is different from me and all, that also creates bondage. But it attracts us towards inner peace and happiness. Sattva Gun attracts us towards unconditional happiness. When we sit in satsang, now all of you are sitting here peacefully, happy. So this happiness and peace you are getting because of the whole sattvic atmosphere which is created in your heart because of this satsang. And it doesn't require anything. Just that sattvic atmosphere gives happiness and peace. But our spiritual effort is required to maintain that sattvic atmosphere. But if it comes, it gives peace and happiness. So Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati Rajak Karmani Bharata. But hey Bharata, hey Arjuna, when Rajogun arises in our heart, sometimes it comes from our past impressions. Actually, these gunas keep on fluctuating. So they are propelled from within and they are also motivated from, controlled from the surrounding. The outer surrounding also affects what type of guna will come in me and also the sanskar which I have influences the guna which will come. If I have lot of sattvic samskar, then from my past only the sattva guna comes more and more. But if I have rajasic samskar, then those gunas will come. Again, I might be rajasic, but if I am in a sattvic atmosphere, it will help me to bring that sattva guna in me. I might be rajasic, but if I am in tamasic atmosphere, it will again make me tamasic. So this inner and outer thing influences the type of guna which comes at a particular time. So sattvam sukhe sanjayate rajak karmani bharata. So when rajogun come, we become active. We want to perform action. Because rajogun comes, desires come, thirst come, and in order to fill that thirst, quench that thirst, we perform action. Rajogun tells that see that you will get happiness, hear that you will feel happy, eat it, drink this, through the senses, through the mind, through the intellect. It tells us that you go out, work and become happy. And when we are overpowered by tamogun, we are attracted towards sleep and pramad. Jnanam avrutyatu tamaha pramade sanjayatyuta. It propels us into more and more carelessness and forgetfulness. Therefore, person under the influence of all these alcohols and all, they are told not to drive or not to do any important thing because it propels them into carelessness. Then they don't care for their own safety. They will not behave in this way when they are sober, but when they are not sober, that heedlessness comes. Because tamogun comes, heedlessness comes, carelessness comes, and one behaves in that way. Because it covers knowledge. Jnanam avrutya. Like knowledge is like our files which we refer to before taking decision. But when we are overpowered by tamogun, we close the files. Band karke rakh de. It's like we are driving and that headlights are on. At night we are driving through the Himalayan region. Headlights are on, we are awake and we are driving. Tamogun is to switch off the light and continue driving. So you know what can happen. So jnanam avrutyatu tamaha pramade sanjayatyuta. So this little things Bhagavan tells about the nature of these three gunas. See, all this he will tell lot of things about these three gunas, and then finally Bhagavan will tell how to transcend them. This very sweet shloka will come later on. So you continue coming. Next verse. Rajas tamascha vibhuyah Sattvam bhavati bharata Rajas sattvam tamaschaiva Tamas sattvam rajas tatha Rajas tamascha vibhuyah Sattvam bhavati bharata. Like we see a rainbow in the sky. So when we see the rainbow, it's such a beautiful 7 colors we can see. But if you go there to pick up the rainbow, you will not find anything. There's nothing there. So the rainbow is just a play of colors. So it created an image which we felt it is true. Similarly, this whole world is just a play of these three gunas. It creates image of solidity. It creates image of that it is long lasting. All these are images created by these three gunas. Right? We can touch things, we feel that it is there, it is solid, reality is there. I am there, this body is there. So all this is created, concept of time, concept of space, concept of objects are created by these three gunas. It's just a play of these three gunas. When these three gunas are in perfect state of equilibrium, the whole world disappears and one is in that one's own real self. So in the state of meditation, when we transcend the three gunas come in a perfect state of equilibrium, and for this realized master who has gone into that nirvikalpa samadhi, there is no world, there is nothing. But when these three gunas are in a state of flux, then the world is experienced. At the cosmic level as well as at an individual level, the world is experienced when there is flux, when there is change in these three gunas. Now, very interesting, Bhagavan says in this, that all these three gunas are related to each other in a way that when one of them rises, the other one goes down. All three together, let us say all three together are 100 units. Then if one becomes more, let us say sattva gun becomes 80%, then other two will be 20%. You cannot have 80% sattva, 80% rajas and all like that. It goes down. So when one rises, the other two goes down. A very good example is our own pravachan. Direct example I will give you. See, sattva gun, when it is there, when you are listening to pravachan, when you are in sattvic mode, when you are identified with the pravachan and listening and carefully and all, and when you are enjoying the pravachan, that is jnanam, that is sukha, and when you are understanding it. So jnanam and sukham, when you are having, then you are in sattva gun, sattvic condition. When we not only enjoy, but we understand also, then we are in sattva gun. But when we are restless and all, in between checking, some people do also, I think so. Checking your phone, this, that, looking here and there, seeing what is happening around and all. Then we are in rajogun, scratching our head unnecessarily. Then we are in rajogun. Now, very interesting that a person in rajogun will have to go into sattva gun, or he has to go into tamagun, because here you can't use rajogun much, you can't move around and all sorts of, it's not allowed actually. You can't suddenly get up and start doing and all sorts of. So rajogun is restricted because of the situation in which we are. So there is only two choices are left, either go into sattva gun or go into tamagun. Either enjoy the lecture and understand what is happening, or sleep, or be lazy, or be just, or rajogun actually not only physical activity, but also we indulge in our mind activity. So sometimes people don't enjoy, they go into the dream world and think about this and all. They think of something else only. Then yes, then I will ride a motorcycle and then go there and this and that. So they are very happy because activity is going on in their mind. They are in the rajogun mood. So these three gunas are such that they are related to each other.